Welcome back to Sydney's Oran Park Raceway, where there's been plenty of biff and barge back in the field, but no such conditions for Mark Scaife. Boy, that looked like a pretty dominant win, and in the new car.
Look, the new car's obviously going great. You know, for the two cars to qualify on the front row of the grid and be like that in the race, the cars are great. We had to be a bit smart about it, Mark, because we probably need to make sure the tyres are good for later on in the day. And, you know, the car balance is good, but everybody's tyres will go away, especially the rears, so we've got to be a bit clever about it.
Congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
From one Holden driver to another, and your chance to purchase some brilliant memorabilia, a limited edition run of 500 prints only, all personally autographed by Larry Perkins. 1-800-888-321. Don't forget the others as well. Glenn Seaton, Victor Brave, and there's plenty more as we watch the field roll around. And of course, these are their finishing positions from the first race, the order in which they start. Scaife and Lowndes, that hasn't changed. And of course, where they started in the first race on your right-hand side. Ellery from 4, Russell Ingall from 6, and Crompton from 8. He moved forward from 12.
Glenn Seaton and Paul Radisich moving up to 10th from 14th. John Bowe, good move too. Qualified 17th up to 11th. And look down the bottom there, Mick Donoghue, qualified 23rd, moved his way right up to 16th, really charging.
Trevor Ashby out of 17. Craig Harris went from 29th to 19th in the Bathurst winning car from last year. So the Brisbane driver doing very well. Chris Smurden back there in 23.
Peter Dillman, Simon Amazides, Paul Wheel and Jason Bargwana. Rodney Forbes, Greg Murphy, of course, outed with a broken diff. Tony Longhurst, we saw him spin off, and Stephen Richards. He had all sorts of steering dramas, but that's been fixed for race 2.
And that is your full 32 car grid. There is Greg Murphy. He's had a tough time of it lately. Had a very challenging run at Winton. And here's the man who has improved as the series has grown older, Mark Scaife. The gap narrowing all the time between he and his teammate. Great to see Stephen Ellery on the second row of the grid. Perhaps he could finish on the podium today. Who knows? Still plenty of racing left here at the final sprint round at Oran Park. The revs rise, and this is 2 of 3. Can the Mobil 1 Holden Racing team be beaten here in Sydney today?
A long time.
Again, away we go, and it's Lowndes.
Oh, the best start for Ellery.
So it's Scaife on the inside. Bright is through up into second. Lowndes bogged down off the start. Look at the Valvoline car of Tander. He slipped up on the inside of Stephen Ellery. McLean is in there as well. And the 2 AU XR8s
oh,
of the
look up inside. That's Radisich.
Oh,
no, Radisich, Ingall, and that's
Seaton.
Oh, boy.
Well,
yeah, we
Soren got caught up in the early part of that tangle. We thought he might have been able to straighten it out, but the car just kept coming around and around.
Yeah, that was, I don't know, it looked a bit like Paul Radisich. I don't know, we'll have to get another look at it and see what happens.
One thing's for sure, Russell Ingall was tangled up in that, and as the field flies through, you can see how many positions Ingall has lost. He is way back after that.
Boy.
Faulkner's been the big winner in that incident as well.
Jason Bright third in Heat 1. Look at him, he's split the Mobil Holden Racing Team Commodores. That's a big boost for the Ford fans. Garth Tander, a great start, got in front of
look at it
Steve
now,
Ellery.
look, you see Radisich on the inside there.
Cito on the outside.
Yes, I can't really tell from that angle, but I don't know.
Just couldn't bring it around.
Could also be a case of trying to squeeze 3 cars through a space.
Right here,
where there's
have a
only
look
2.
here. There you go. Well, there was contact.
Geez, so much going on there.
Yeah, you can't really tell from that. You know, it's unfair to blame anybody for it at the moment, but it's, you know, it's... that's Paul Wheel, isn't it?
Yep, Paul Wheel in the K&J Thermal Products car. That is the end of his race, if not the day. So...
It looks like it's smiling, doesn't it? But I don't think it needs to.
The safety car is out.
Safety car.
So that's obviously in a precarious position. I was just trying to work out where that was on the circuit. The situation speaks for itself.
Oh, they're waving. I was going to say they've just walked past the safety car, but it's waving them past.
Waving past the rest of the field. Wait till the leaders get onto the back of the safety car. They'll form up in a grid. And wait till they get those wrecks cleared, and we'll return to racing conditions.
Now, to give you an indication of how far Russell Ingall dropped back, as Glenn Seaton still keeps going back to 21st. Ingall dropped. So that hurt him dearly.
All right, now get a look. You see Radisich up the inside there, hard on the brakes. I think Russell then turns in. Yeah, it's coming together with Radisich and Russell, and then Russell sort of goes into Glenn. but it wasn't really...
Looked like Radicic was up on the curb. He ran out of room, and that squeezed Ingle, that squeezed Seaton. It was like a chain reaction.
Say Ingle, I would say, was 100% blameless there.
Yeah, sort of the meat and the sandwich. Oh, look at the damage to the front of the Valvoline Commodore.
That was Barguana's car. So he's pushing back. They feel as though they've got that problem fixed that was in the first race. Feedback we got was that it was an electrical problem. So Barguana, a little bit of damage on the front. He's in 15th position.
Ball with Bowie, right? So there's.
This will give you a good view. Look at Radicic. Look at Radicic on the left.
Now you see.
Oh, he's right over.
Seaton avoiding. Is that Seaton? Yeah, Seaton avoiding there. Oh no, that's Paul's fault. I would say. You know, I have to say that was Paul's fault.
Bow got a nice clean passage through.
Yeah,
went right through the middle
that was really.
Well, there is the young teenage Queenslander. Paul Wheel is out of race 2 and has got some problems on his hands as we check the Shell Helix race score. Scaife and Bright. This is shaping up to be an interesting one. Stay with us. More on the other side of this. You're watching the Shell Championship Series on your home of Motorsport Network 10. And another frantic start. We've just got word through that Crompton has been black flagged due to a jump start, and we are back under green. And Lowndes has got a great restart on Jason Bright.
How close is this? He's got him.
Down into turn 1, Lowndes should have the run. He's got the inside for Bright, and Lowndes has moved up. Great move, Craig Lowndes.
That was a bit of hard driving from Lowndesy there because Brighty was right on the grass.
Now, Crompton would have only just found out that he's been black flagged, so we'll expect him to come in next time round.
Yeah, Scaife really got on the restart, didn't he? He opened up 3 or 4 car lengths, full throttle as they came across the line. Jason Bright just not as quick out of the corner onto the main straight, led Craig Lowndes to move up position, so it's back to the 1-2 mobile car domination we saw in Heat 1. Bright back to 3rd position, and the Valvoline Commodore of Garth Tander doing an outstanding job today.
Well, and Paul Radicic moves up. He's currently in 7th position. Let's not forget that he started back in 14th before race 1, so he is moving forward very quickly. Stephen Ellery still hanging in there in the older EL Falcon, right behind Tander, ahead of Radicic. There's McLean. He's got Bow right on him, and John Faulkner.
Actually, Radicic was lucky to get away with no damage. Well, no damage, terminal damage, put it that way.
Oh, there goes
Crompton.
Oh, gosh. That's a narrow pit entry, isn't it?
It's a terrible pit entry. It's really, really bad.
See him jag really hard left, right, trying to get in there.
And we'll see how well Cameron McLean can handle the pressure of former touring car champ John Bow in the Cat Ford, because he is right on him. Here is Crompton's stop-go. Away goes the Ford factory driver in the AU XR8. Now that'll drop him quite a few positions.
Well, if you ever needed a better example of handing on the top quality cars to the privateers, it's Cameron McLean. His incredible performance in the Greenfield car. There he is, Stephen Ellery too. Ex-Mark Larkham might attempt Ford from last year, Ellery's car. This is the ex-Dick Johnson racing machine, the Greenfield Falcon. Look at how competitive they are amongst the professional teams at Oran Park this afternoon.
Yeah, look at that, the way that Cameron McLean's car's handling. I mean, it looks really nicely balanced.
9 to 10 lap counters, 7 of 20.
Oh,
wow, the change of direction. He is hammering this car.
It looks good, though. It looks good.
3 wheels in the air. Maximum grip. As
oh, look at that.
That's Barguana.
Yeah, Barg's up the inside.
Inside of Larkham for 14. So he's making his way through. Considering he started back of grid, Barguana was way back in something like 28th off the grid for this race. Here's the battle. Look at the front end of the Valvoline Cummins Commodore.
Well, as we've seen before, little Russell Ingle have similar damage up at Hidden Valley, and he absolutely
that's
cooked his engine. So hopefully the temperatures won't be rising too high underneath the bonnet of the Valvoline machine. Otherwise, it's going to have a very expensive engine damage in that car.
12th position now for Jason Barguana. That right front headlight looking pretty loose underneath there. Let's hope he can hang in there for race distance. Not that he needs it. So he now sits well in 12th. Perkins is the next one on his list. And as we farewell Dick Johnson, he sits in 12th.
Isn't it amazing that
she's running really wide there, Bob.
The topsy-turvy nature of this championship. This young guy was on pole position and dominated 3 heats at Winton just 2 weeks ago. Now he finds himself battling to stay in the top 10.
Well, that's what he said yesterday after he qualified 18th. He said, oh, well, from hero to zero, doesn't mind.
Look at this. Look at the amount of grass they're using on the...
Well, doesn't As they always do with these racing drivers, Baz, they put a strip of concrete on the inside of the ripple strip to try and save the grass.
Well, exactly.
The drivers just use it.
And if you put a set of railings there, they wouldn't go near it. You know, but really, that's the only way to keep them off, isn't it?
Now, V8 fans in Queensland and Dick Johnson fans, his final testimonial dinner, or rather his farewell dinner on the 15th of September. That is the Wednesday night before the Queensland 500 at the Brisbane Hilton. And there's a number on screen to call. Fabulous nights, great feedback from the people who have been, so well worth going, and that will be his final one, and as expected that should be huge in Brisbane. And round 12 of the Shell Championship Series, it is the first of the final 2 Enduros at the end of the year, the Queensland 500. Dennis Brown from Queensland Raceway is here this weekend, and he has shown us all the maps, and apparently the traffic problems are sorted out, so we look forward to that.
I was there last week and I saw all the plans and spoke to the coppers and policemen, sorry, and they said that it's definitely going to be sorted.
Good competitive run from Dick Johnson in his final appearance in a sprint round. He's in 10th position, defending half from Larry Perkins in the Castrol Commodore. So Johnson got a marvellous reception from this massive Sydney crowd this morning when he did a lap of honour. They flew in this huge "Thank you, Dick Johnson" flag. It was a wonderful moment. Johnson was a bit choked up. It was a bit of an emotional day for Dickie. Hope he can get through. Look at the damage on Paul Radisic's cars. He got squeezed. Oh,
gives Ellery something to think about.
Right up behind Stephen Ellery now, feeling the heat of the Shell 18 Ford.
This is interesting because these guys will be teammates at the next round, and Ellery gives him racing room on the inside.
That was a good move from Radicic.
The Rat slips up the inside, so Radicic 1 position higher. He now sits in 5th.
Such an aggressive racer, isn't he? So effective at getting up the positions. He has a bad qualifying performance, and he always makes up a lot of positions on race day.
Well, that's become a tradition for him.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes it so hard for him to, when it comes to race day, to start way back.
Cut his teeth in the cut and thrust of the British Touring Car Championship. Now he's come to the V8s, and he said himself he is really surprised how difficult it has been coming to terms with how to set this car up on the level of competition.
Well, he was saying this morning that everything that the telemetry was saying should be done to the car went against what the seat of the pants feeling was, and that was what the confusion was.
Out the back of Dick Johnson's car, lap 11 of 20. Larry Perkins monstering the back of the Shell 17 Ford on board with Dick Johnson.
I tell you what, that thing of Dick's is not slow, is it?
No, I've been saying all season the Dick Johnson Racing Falcons aren't lacking for horsepower. They're going to be bullets up at Bathurst, I'm sure.
Quickest car out on the circuit is the Pertec Ford of Jason Bright.